Yo, what's going on guys, Havoc here now back. Today we're going to be discussing some Clash of Clans things maybe only OGs might remember. I've been playing Clash of Clans since early 2013 and over the years I've seen things come and go, change or evolve. And some of those things might make newer players a bit confused. But if you've been playing since the early days, get ready for a lot of nostalgic flashbacks. Now, we all know the obvious stuff like the waterfall, spells costing gold, selling buildings, max town hall being 8s, blah blah. Everyone's probably mentioned those things like a million times, so I tried to make things that are a little less obvious. So, with that being said, let's get right into it. Copying bases. No, not this, or this, I mean this. Yup. We went there. Over the years, Clash of Clans has made it easier to make and reorganize your base. First we got the village edit mode, then we got the ability to save more than one base, and then we could literally copy and paste bases using links. But before all that technology, you had to move your base manually. Every time you needed a new base, well, too bad. You're gonna sit here for an hour and do it. God, it took so long. I can't say I enjoyed those days, but damn, I feel old. Village edit mode wasn't introduced into the game until 14 months after launch, so you can imagine the struggle OG players went through just to have a different base setup. Dumb wall breakers. Okay, we've had a lot of issues with troops having a few loose screws, especially heroes, but do you remember the old wall breakers? I asked Twitter what was the most OG thing they remember from Clash of Clans, and Ryan from Supercell brought up something I had completely forgot about. The wall breakers were so dumb. So basically, wall breakers were designed to go after walls. I mean, they still do today, but they literally just went for any wall. Any wall in front of them was a target, even if it was just a lone wall. If you think this is bad, just wait until you hear that people actually made anti-wall breaker bases. Yes, bases with walls pointing out of it, so the wall breakers would target that and not the actual base. Luckily though, Supercell knew about this issue and they ended up reworking their AI in 2013. There was even a video uploaded by Clash of Clans explaining the new rework and how they worked. Man, to think this was 8 years ago is just crazy. Original Town Hall 11 designs. If you were playing in 2015, surely you remember seeing videos on the new flashy Town Hall 11, the biggest update in such a long time. But there was something different from those videos. The actual Town Hall and Eagle Artillery shooting animation were different. Why? Well, there's no major reason, it's just that what you were seeing in those update videos was an early version of what would eventually become something else. I think sneak peek started about a month or two before the update, so the Clash of Clans team had a lot of time to make adjustments. The two most notable changes being the Town Hall and Eagle Artillery. I can try and describe the changes, but instead, I think showing the Town Hall would be a lot better. I mean, just look at it. It's like a day and night change. Now as for the Eagle Artillery, the design stayed the same for the most part, but the beams it shot were different. Originally, the defense shot up a yellow beam into the sky that dropped on enemy targets. However, this was changed to 3 consecutive shots of orange artillery shells. These changes may not be super obvious today as Town Hall 11 was released a very long time ago, but it's truly something I still remember to this day. The first person to reach 4,000 trophies. Ask any player that's been playing for a while if George Yao rings a bell, and most certainly they'll know exactly who you're talking about. George Yao, currently a product manager at Space 8 Games, was the first person to reach 4,000 trophies in Clash of Clans. That may not seem like such a big deal, but back then, Town Hall 9 was the highest Town Hall, and there were no leagues in the game. It really was a big deal. Everyone was talking about him and everyone was amazed at the fact that someone had reached 4,000 trophies. Like, wow, how could you reach 4,000 trophies? That's insane. He basically became a Clash celebrity. There's more to this story I can go on and on about, like the problems he faced and how it affected his life, but the main point I wanted to get out there was that OG players 100% know who this guy was and when it all took place. The old times when you couldn't spectate or even see replays. In the old days, there was no such thing as seeing someone else attack or see how your base is defended. All you could do was attack. But what happened when you got attacked though? What did the players see? Just nothing? Well, we got a screen that said your base was under attack and you couldn't get back until the attacker was done. Luckily, over the years we got replays, but you still couldn't spectate live battles until 2014. And this year they added the features to spectate a live war attack, and then later on you could spectate your own base getting attacked. And thank God, because I was always impatient and anxious to see what was happening to my base. Let me in! The old air defense designs. You've probably heard a clanmate, someone on YouTube, or maybe even remember and said, remember the old air defenses? Well, yeah, that's because in March of 2016, the air defenses were given a redesign in terms of their appearance. The old ones had more wood, they looked older and a little smaller I believe, and the new ones were given more color, stronger appearance, and I think they were even slightly bigger. I don't think I can make this video without mentioning this one. But other than that, that is pretty much it. They just had a different appearance. And yeah. Constant goblin hero leaks. Oh my god. This one. Everyone and their mama was trying to guess what the next hero was before the Grand Warden. We only had the king and the queen, so everyone was speculating, well, what's something in the game that we'll probably get in the future in a hero version, and everyone was talking about the Goblin King. Now you might think I'm crazy, but if you're an OG player, you damn sure better remember those days when everywhere you went, YouTube, Reddit, Facebook, there was always something about a Goblin King leak or idea. And yeah, I'm sorry to break it to you, but there is no Goblin King. But I still had to mention this one. This one really brings back some good old memories. The OG tutorial. So the tutorial has gone through a lot of changes, but I wanted to specifically focus on 2012. The goblin maps you attacked were about the same setup, but not quite what it is today. It looked kinda off. The grass. Now I wasn't playing as early as that, so I can't remember if this was only for the sneak peek gameplay released 2 months before the game came out, or if it was like this at launch, but man, the graphics were so bad. Well, bad in today's standards, but of course, back then it was like super good. It was, wow, you can get those graphics on a mobile, you can do anything. But now that we're looking at this gameplay though, there's a few things different here, and the shop graphics, the buttons, the color shades, what happened to the builder? And look at the settings, you couldn't do anything but change volumes. Looking at this is like traveling to a weird Clash of Clans period. 2012 Clash of Clans was just something else, yet so simple and addictive. That's why I'm here today. Manual reloading traps. Back in the day, traps were just traps. They had no levels. They were just something you bought once and forgot about. But you had to take care of them. After getting attacked, if the enemy triggered traps, which they most likely did if you got completely wrecked, the traps were depleted. This is because you had to rearm them once you log back on. In 2019 though, Supercell ended up removing the rearm option altogether, including the need to rearm Expos and Inferno Towers, and instead, after logging on, it would simply be done for you as long as you actually logged on. To this day, this is still how it works, but man, I'll forever remember the times of needing to log back on and rearm those damn traps. The ultimate revenge. Okay, times were different and the most valuable resource was Dark Elixir. It might still be, but back then it was glorified. Also, the lightning spell was OP. So what do you get? People dropping lightning spells on a player's Dark Elixir storage as a way to get back at them. This wasn't only a revenge thing though, no. It was a farming technique like any other. Brew some spells and go look for a base with a lot of Dark Elixir and simply drop it on the dark storage. I can't lie, I remember doing this. I had to get the Barbarian King at Town Hall 7 some way or another, and honestly everyone did. Obviously though, this is not possible today. These storages were given a shield to protect against spell damage. I'm actually happy Supercell did that because the strategy was just too easy and it almost felt like there was no real way to protect your loot. New chats appearing at the top instead of the bottom. This one's also a very small one, but someone sent this to me on Twitter and he said, "I remember when new chats appeared at the top of the screen instead of the bottom." Yes, when you were in a clan and talking, the chats would appear at the top instead of the bottom. I have no idea why it was ever at the top. It made no sense. Honestly, it never made sense. So when they switched it to the bottom, it was actually pretty cool. At last, the chat finally makes sense. And yeah, again, this one's a pretty quick one, and I just wanted to mention it because it's still an OG thing. Tapping on every collector. Okay, let me get this out of the way. Do you remember the old elixir sound? God, I'm remembering memories I didn't even know I had. Anyways, surely OG players remember logging on and tapping every single collector one at a time because that's what you needed to do. Besides being so nostalgic though, it was really satisfying. In 2017 though, things changed to make collecting your loot faster and more convenient. As you may have noticed today, you only need to tap on one of the collectors for it to collect the loot from all the collectors. Now, although yes, this is faster, I still miss the old days when you needed to tap on all of them. Something about that was just so special. The old Grand Warden. Now this one isn't as old as the others, but yes, in the summer of 2019, the Grand Warden's appearance was changed. Now again, like I said before, it's probably easier just to show you and you can look at them and yeah, you can obviously tell the differences here. Now this one is a pretty small one and I just wanted to mention it really quick because it is really recent, so yeah. OG farming. I can't make a video about OG things without talking about how farming used to work back in the day. Now surely for you newer players watching, you've probably seen or heard someone talk about it, how farming used to be different and all magical and wow, it was better back in the day, Well, it's kind of debatable on which system was better, before or now, but basically, farming was just different. Leaving your town hall outside of the base was actually a very common thing to do. This is because if you left it outside, someone looking for trophies would take your town hall and leave. And then your loot will be protected because you had a shield. Sometimes people even put traps around their town hall just to troll people. The good old days. Unfortunately, Supercell saw this system to be too easy and wanted to change how farming worked. And so fast forward today, leaving your town hall out isn't very smart because it won't give you a shield unless the attacker gets at least 30% on your base. And yeah, so leaving your town hall out after the Town Hall 11 update wouldn't grant you a shield as before and no longer protect your loot the same way. Watching a Chief Pat video to complete a single player map. This super nostalgic. Back then, if you had a hard time completing one of these maps and search how to do it on YouTube, the one person that would show up was Chief Pat. That's because he made a series on how to beat every single map in the game, and boy, I thought I was the only one, but apparently every OG I ask has at least watched a good old Chief Pat video to learn how to beat Sherbet Towers or Pekka's Playhouse. I remember coming from school, opening Clash of Clans and not knowing how to beat the damn thing. How the heck do I beat Sherbet Towers? I'm only like a Town Hall 7, how do you... What's this? Chief Pat always came in clutch though, and if you're seriously an OG, you probably followed one of his tutorials back in the day. The times before Dark Elixir. Now this is like before my time. I started playing Clash of Clans around May of 2013, so I think by then we already had Dark Elixir troops and heroes and all that. I can't speak by experience, but just imagine the days with no Dark Elixir. You had no dark troops, no heroes. Whoa, that's crazy to think about. I mean, most armies today include some sort of Dark Elixir integration. Whether it's your heroes or Hog Riders, a Golem, a Witch. Dark Elixir literally changed the game in many ways, and I just can't imagine how it was before. Being a Town Hall 9 with no Go Wipe, no Go Wee Wee, no heroes? Now you might be wondering what people use to attack. Well, most people in the leaderboards just use mass dragons. Sounds familiar? Yeah. Nowadays people just spam Electro Dragons and you're a pro! Congratulations! But anyways, other than that, for the casual player, Giants were the main meat shield, and of course, Barch was still around, and armies were very simple. If you play before the Dark Elixir times, you are a certified OG. long training times. I'm sure you've heard me ramble about this before, but basically, training armies back then took hours. And spells, hours. Hero regeneration time, hours. Everything in the game took hours. Now clearly, after some years, these times have been reduced until we eventually got to training a golem in like what, 10-15 minutes I think? I don't even know. Everything is just so much quicker. You can train an entire army in like 20 minutes and yeah, you're good to go. But back then it was such a different time and everything took so long. Training something like Go Wipe or Lavalunian was literal hell. So guys, that should be it for this video. I tried my best to include some of the most OG things in the game. Obviously, I'm not going to include everything because, I don't know, like I said, I didn't start playing until a few months after launch, so maybe there's a few small things I missed from the good old 2012 days. Definitely let me know in the comment section below and yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. Havoc Gaming out. Peace!